What is up, you guys? Blaze here with another training in the Blue Chip Athletic Club courseware program. So today I'm going to ask you a quick question, I guess rhetorical question, because I'll end up giving you the answer. But what do you think the difference is between the person here on the left, in the middle, and on the right? I can tell you the guy on the left and in the middle were both unhappy with where they were at in life, and as well as with their physical body. Person on the left thought that, being stronger would make him happier. Person in the middle could bench 3 plates, squat 4 plates, and deadlift 5 plates, but still was unhappy. And the person on the right now is pretty happy with where he's at. So what I'll tell you is that the difference between those three photos is not effort in the gym, it's not time spent in the gym, and it's not a desire to be shredded, at least with our physical body. What it is and always will be is your mind. Your mindset is more specifically what's going to be something that you really need to harness and understand moving forward in any sort of health and wellness journey. A couple of things that I really want to make sure that we key in on here in this program are going to be motivation, resilience, and responses to adversity. So realistically, it's always going to be something that's going to be driving your progress in the gym, as well as any sort of stagnation, setbacks in your life, your physical body, and in your progress in this program specifically. So, what do we do about it? How do we move on? How are we able to, improve or harness our, more solid level of motivation, resilience, just general understanding of what our mind is telling us, thoughts that we have, etc. And to kind of go about that, I first want to ask you a question, and it's, do you have a family member or friend, or maybe it's even you, that always has some sort of drama happening in their life? And this could be somebody who, always seems to be in the middle of some sort of an argument or a breakup, or they can't really seem to get their shit together. I personally do, and I'm sure that you guys have somebody in mind as well. And the point of me asking this question is to kind of ask a follow on. And that question is, who do you think the common denominator is in that scenario? Why do you think that's the case? So, in, study, statistics, all this, and the form or space of mindset, psychology really start to say that the key and the reason that this person is having this type of life is that they are not accepting responsibility for their life and all that happens in it. So, what I want to stress the importance of, and we're going to spend a little bit of time on this slide here, is that you and your life need to accept responsibility for everything that happens in it at all times, in all scenarios. I don't want to gloss over the importance of this. And because of that, I'm going to go over a couple different scenarios here. One being, hey, let's say you were running late to work. You could A, blame the traffic for work, you being late to your boss, or B, you could accept responsibility and say that you were supposed to leave sooner and the guy in front of you was driving the speed limit, and you weren't able to speed around him and you need to take responsibility for that. Or, hey, let's say that we are now overweight. Well, it isn't because you spent too much time at family gatherings around that like food pushing grandmother. It's because you neglected your health, because you didn't move your body, because you didn't have a structured plan in place for you to be healthy. Oh, you didn't get hired for the position that you're interviewing for. It's because you were underqualified, not because the other person, XYZ, fill in the blank with whatever reason you kind of tell yourself. This fact, this statement here will alleviate a ton of mindset setbacks or, limiting beliefs that you have about your body, because you have the ability to change and control where your life goes. And the reality is, it all comes down to choice. It all comes down to choosing actions, because you choose your actions. You can choose your mental state. You can choose how you respond to adversity. You can choose how to treat your kids. You can choose how to treat your partner. You can choose your partner. You can choose how to make a change. You can choose to stay the same. What I'm doing is I'm not discounting the fact in this. And I know some people are like, oh, I was dealt a bad hand, I was grew up in poverty and this or that, and I'm not discounting any of those types of things. What I am saying though is that no matter what starting line you were given in life, you can take full advantage or disadvantage of that starting line where you are. So, the same person starting from the same position with a different mindset could end up being, Jeff Bezos, and that same person could end up on the streets in some foreign country, drunk, disabled, whatever, fill in the blank and where those people were. And it all comes down to the way that they executed their choices throughout their life. And I want to stress the importance of that. And beyond that, your choices have even consequences with those choices. So, for better, for worse, let's say you're lactose intolerant, you eat ice cream. Well, there's a consequence for that, and you're probably going to be, having a tough day on the toilet. If you smoke and drink every day of the week, there's a consequence for that. You're probably going to die at a younger age. You're probably going to have, issues with your liver as you get older. If you go to the gym and eat healthy food, there's a consequence for that. That's a positive consequence. It's going to be better gut health. You'll be able to move and live for a longer period of time, and your bone density will be better. You'll be staying out of a wheelchair, etc. Um, there's, other consequences too that are like prioritizing someone else's life and dreams over your own. There's going to be a consequence for that. You're putting yourself in the back seat. Ipso facto, your life is going to take a different direction than it could if you were, putting yourself, quote unquote, putting your mask on first. So I know what you're thinking, and going through this, training here. You're probably like, hey, I came here for you to tell me how to work out, not a self-help seminar, right? And you know what? I'm going to tell you that I can give you the holy grail of a workout program, the thing that makes NFL players or whatever, XYZ athlete that you can think of, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. I can give you their exact program, but without establishing a mindset that creates a foundation for your motivation, which then creates the foundation for the method or your workout plan. And without those things kind of being harnessed, settled, and understood, from a foundational level, the best workout plan on the face of planet Earth would not help you. You'd be in the same place 6 months from now, a year from now, because you haven't done the internal work required to get there, to get over the hump, to get the results that you want. So the first step of this program comes down to this simple fact. And it's, I need you to drink the Kool-Aid. I need you to forget your preconceived notions about what personal trainers do. I need you to forget the idea of what will make you look better naked that somebody told you in the past of whatever. I need you to forget that your neighbor told you about doing keto and it helped him drop 20 pounds in 2 weeks. I need you to forget all these things. And I want you to harness and focus in on doing something that's harder than any workout set that you'll ever complete. And that's going to be crafting a winner's mind and a winner's mindset. So, how do you do that, you ask? Well, the way to do that is you need to look in the mirror and you need to ask very difficult questions. And I'm going to give you a couple of these, off the rip, that you can either write down or you can kind of just ask yourself internally as you go through this presentation. And first one's going to be, when things get hard, do you, find a way to your goal? Do you quit? Do you give half effort? And why? And the why part is actually almost more important than what you actually do. Because if you're able to figure out and drill down into the why, you're somebody who, as things start to get difficult, you quit or you give half effort or you find a way to your goal, you're going to start to understand yourself more and able to lean into that piece of your mind, that piece of your mindset, to be able to put you on a path that's going to be drastically different from when you started this program. Another question that you can ask yourself: do you seek out challenges or do you shy away from them? Why is that? Again, the why is so, so important. When things get hard, do you blame someone else for the circumstance or do you accept responsibility for your situation? And why is that? Kind of goes back to us saying that we are the, in the pilot seat for our life, in general. When you encounter adversity, what is your response? Why do you have that response? Are you somebody that gets mad or frustrated? Do you pass the buck? Do you cry? Do you get frustrated? Do you yell on a pillow? Why are you doing that? Think about these things from a foundational level and really, really lean in to why you act and why you think the way that you do. So the unfortunate reality is that 95% of the people who watch this training won't actually do this work. They won't be introspective. They won't take responsibility for the choices they make and the life and situation that they're in. So what I'm asking is, are you part of the 5%? Are you part of the 5% that's going to make a change, shift your mindset, and finish what you start and finish strong? So I'm going to leave you with this. If you are willing to do the internal work, the external work is going to be a breeze. Now, if you're willing to set your mindset up, if you're willing to put yourself in uncomfortable positions, if you're willing to accept the fact that your life is not something that's predisposed and planned out for you before you take the stage, you're going to be able to set yourself on a different path than you ever thought was possible. So, what I want to do is I'm going to point out there's a couple resources that I attach to this lesson as well that are going to be there for you to look into. And those are going to be the four whys, which will then kind of dig into, or excuse me, five whys, which is going to dig into why you want to do what you want to do. And that's going to set us up for our next discussion about motivation. And the other worksheet is going to be talking about the four crazy questions that you have to ask yourself when you're going through this journey. Again, I want to stress the importance of doing these couple things, realizing that they're going to be something that is uncomfortable for you to do. It's going to be something that you are likely not even going to do because, again, we talked about being the 5% or the 95%. So go through these things, really be introspective. Don't be afraid of asking hard questions and don't be afraid of not knowing any answer because half of the answer is going to be lying in the fact that you asked the question yourself and you've thought about it. So let me know if you guys have any questions and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later.